I'm 38, married for 12 years, and have 2 kids, a 9-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. Life felt normal, I guess. We had the usual chaos: school runs, bills, birthday parties, the occasional fight about chores. My wife, Jenna, was my high school sweetheart, and I genuinely believed we were inseparable. People always said we were the perfect couple, and honestly, I liked hearing it. I liked thinking it was true. We both had careers, some hobbies, friends, and family nearby. Life wasn't flashy, but it was comfortable, predictable. The kind of life you can get lost in and forget that there's an outside world where unexpected things happen. I trusted her completely, probably too much. And maybe that was my first mistake. I never imagined that the person I shared everything with could have a side of her life I didn't even know existed. Everything changed at a wedding. Not ours, someone else's. It was my friend Tom's wedding, a small, casual affair. Jenna volunteered to help with the decorations and ended up chatting with the photographer, a guy named Alex, who was hired last minute. She told me later it was nothing, just friendly conversation. I didn't notice at first, but looking back, there were little things. She started talking about Alex a lot, more than she usually gushed about friends. She shared funny moments from his stories, how talented he was, and how easy it was to talk to him. At the time, I thought I was being paranoid. We were secure, weren't we? I had no reason to doubt her. Weeks passed, and she casually mentioned dancing with him at the reception. "It was just a dance, no big deal," she said. But then I noticed her phone buzzing a lot whenever she thought I wasn't looking. Random texts. Late-night photos. I brushed it off, convincing myself it was harmless. I didn't want to ruin my sense of normalcy over nothing. I started noticing small changes in her behavior. She became secretive about her phone, kept it face down on the table, or walked out of rooms to take calls. She laughed at things she wouldn't normally, the kind of laugh that hides something. One night, she stayed up late editing some photos. I peeked, curious, and saw a folder labeled with her name and the wedding date. I thought it was harmless at first, maybe just her organizing pictures. But the thumbnails made my stomach twist: close-up shots of her face, intimate angles, some posed, some candid, things I'd never expected anyone to capture. I asked casually, "Are these for social media or something?" She smiled, light and dismissive. "Just for fun, babe. Don't worry." But I did worry. There was a tension in the air I couldn't place. My gut felt like it was whispering something I didn't want to hear. And yet I kept quiet. Pretending everything was fine felt safer than facing the unknown. The thing about betrayal is that it often starts innocently. She started sending Alex pictures she called fun, or cute, little selfies and outfits she wanted opinions on. She described his reactions to me, joking, saying he liked her laugh or how she styled her hair. I told myself, it's just harmless friendship. Everyone needs friends. Everyone needs validation sometimes. But deep down, I started noticing her smile when she talked about him, the way she lingered on his texts. I hated that it made me feel jealous, inadequate even. I started replaying my memories with her, questioning if I'd stopped noticing the things that once made us click. I felt a pull I didn't understand: fear, suspicion, but also denial. I wanted to confront her, but I didn't. I couldn't. Maybe I hoped it would pass, that it was just a phase. Looking back, that's when the first cracks really formed. I just didn't see them. It was a Thursday night when things started spiraling. I came home early from work because I wanted to surprise her with dinner. I walked in and noticed her phone on the counter. A message preview popped up, just a word: "Can't wait to see you again." I froze. My chest felt tight. I didn't know if I should grab the phone, ask her, or run. I waited. She came in smiling, hugging me, completely normal, laughing about work. She never mentioned the message. I wanted to ask, but I was afraid. Later, I found myself scrolling through the wedding photos she'd shared online. And then, something clicked. Among the group shots were close-ups of her and Alex, her arm around him, leaning in too closely, smiles too intimate. My stomach sank. I realized I could no longer ignore the possibility that this wasn't just a dance, or fun friendship. The next few days were hell. I tried observing, waiting for more signs. Every time her phone buzzed, I felt a spike of anxiety. She would disappear to call her mom, or coordinate schedules, and I'd find myself following her eyes, noticing every flicker, every whisper of emotion. One night, I confronted her gently. "Jenna, is there something going on with Alex?" I tried to keep my voice calm, but it cracked. She laughed, the same dismissive laugh, but a little too hard. "What? No, it's nothing. You're imagining things." Her words didn't convince me. They never do. There's a weight in your gut when someone lies to you, a deep, primal knowledge. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. But I also needed to know the truth. That's when I decided. I couldn't ignore it anymore. Something had shifted in our life, and I was terrified to see just how far. A week later, she left her laptop open while I went to the kitchen. Curiosity, or maybe desperation, took over. I opened the folder labeled Wedding 2025. The photos hit me like a punch. Close-ups of her smiling at Alex, resting her head near his shoulder, even playful hand touches. But one photo froze me completely. She was looking at him in a way I had only ever seen her look at me in the very beginning of our relationship. But now it was directed at someone else. I felt vomit rise. I shut the laptop immediately, not ready to confront her yet. My mind raced. What does this mean? How long? Why? It wasn't just friendship. It couldn't be. And in that moment, a fear I had refused to feel took over. I was losing her to someone else, and I had no idea how to stop it. Finally, one night, I couldn't keep quiet. I asked her, voice trembling, "Jenna, are you having an affair?" She froze. The air thickened. I could see every flicker of panic in her eyes. Then she whispered, barely audible, "Yes. I didn't mean for it to go this far. It just happened." I felt my world collapse. The words hit like bullets. I couldn't breathe. "What do you mean it just happened? How long?" I asked, my voice rising. She hesitated, tears welling up. "Since the wedding. It was just supposed to be fun, but I fell for him." I staggered back, mind screaming. Everything I trusted, everything I thought was solid, it was all gone. I couldn't think straight. Anger, heartbreak, shame, it all mixed into a heavy, suffocating cloud. I wanted to scream, to hit something, but my body refused to move. I felt betrayed, but I also felt guilty. Was I not enough? Did I miss the signs? I hated that I even asked that question, but I couldn't stop it. I could barely look at her. She cried, begging me to understand, promising it wouldn't happen again. But the images, the words, the stolen moments, they burned into my memory. I realized I would never see her the same way again. Trust was shattered. For hours, we sat in silence. Every corner of our home felt alien. Our children's laughter outside seemed mocking. I didn't know if I could forgive, if I even wanted to. The next morning, I tried to talk. I asked her to explain everything, every text, every message, every detail. She hesitated, defensive, ashamed. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. I couldn't contain it. "Do you even understand what you've done? How could you risk us for him?" She sobbed. "I don't know. I was lonely. I felt seen. I didn't plan this." We argued for hours. She tried to justify, I tried to demand accountability. Tears, yelling, pleading, I've never felt so raw in my life. Family secrets, hidden desires, betrayals, it all spilled out, leaving nothing safe between us. I wanted closure, but there was none. Only fragments of her honesty, and my shattered faith. For weeks, I couldn't sleep. Every memory of our marriage became tainted. I questioned every hug, every laugh, every "I love you." I felt rage and deep sadness at once. I hated myself for doubting her in the first place, but also for not seeing it sooner. I felt powerless, like a spectator to my own life unraveling. I found myself staring at my children and thinking, how will this affect them? My love for them clashed with the heartbreak in my chest. I wanted to protect them from this, but I couldn't even protect myself. It wasn't just betrayal, it was identity theft. My family, my safe world, my trust, it was all gone in an instant. Our marriage changed overnight. Conversations became awkward, filled with resentment. Trust was non-existent. I monitored her interactions obsessively, though I hated myself for it. Jenna tried to repair things. Couples therapy. Apologies. But the intimacy we once had evaporated. Our kids noticed tension, and I couldn't shield them completely. Family gatherings felt like walking through a minefield. My mental health suffered. Anxiety, sleepless nights, panic attacks. I questioned everything about relationships, love, and loyalty. Friends noticed a change in me. I became withdrawn, cynical. The betrayal didn't just affect us, it bled into every part of my life. Even now, 2 years later, the wound hasn't fully healed. Some days I feel numb. Some days the anger returns with a vengeance that we tried to stay together for the kids, tried forgiveness. I wanted to sometimes. I tried to rebuild trust slowly, cautiously. But every little sign, phone notifications, late nights, a laugh too long, reignited the old fear. Jenna wanted us to move forward. I wanted to, but part of me couldn't. The bond we had was never truly restored. I realized forgiveness isn't always enough. Sometimes damage runs too deep, past the point of repair. We live together now, but emotionally distant. We smile, co-parent, act normal. But it's a facade. Beneath it, the hurt simmers. Even with distance, the pain lingers. I catch myself replaying images, words, moments I wish I could unsee. I still feel betrayal when I think about that wedding, that dance, those photos. I've learned that trust, once broken, reshapes your world. Nothing is the same, even if life goes on. I'm constantly balancing love for my kids with resentment toward the person I once loved entirely. There's guilt too, guilt that I can't let go, guilt that I might still judge her, guilt for the life that's irreversibly changed out. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive her, or myself for staying as long as I did. I've learned that people can hide entire lives in plain sight. That love can coexist with betrayal, but it's complicated and messy. If I have any advice, it's this: trust your instincts. Don't ignore red flags. And remember, sometimes love isn't enough to save a relationship. I still hope, in some quiet corner of my heart, that peace will come. But I live with the memory of that dance, those photos, and the love that was stolen in the blink of an eye.